Okay.
Okay.
Crazy how technology
Okay.
works.
Yes, you bet. You bet. So let's get it rolling here. So, all right. So this is another Bulldogs in the Workforce. We're very lucky to have Kerstin Thoms with us today. Kerstin is a 2019 graduate from Lamar's Community High School. And Kerstin is now an extension educator and the 4-H youth developer, or in 4-H youth development, I should say, up in Minnesota, up in Nobles County. Is that right, Kerstin?
Yes, Nobles and Murray County.
And Murray County. Okay, both. Yeah, you bet. So right across the border there into southwest Minnesota, so not too far, from Lamar's. So Kerstin, after you graduated, you also then went to South Dakota State University. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get to that in just a second, but I knew you'd gone to school up in Brookings, so that's great. I know Lamar sends a lot of kids up there. So, all right. So Kerstin, tell us about your experience at Lamar's Community High School and what that was like, what you were involved in, and that's kind of how that has kind of helped shape you into who you are today.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been 5 years since I graduated. That's crazy to think about. In high school, I was a cheerleader, started out as a wrestling cheerleader, and then I kind of my senior year went into a manager position, but I was also involved in FFA all 4 years. Absolutely loved it. Spanish club. It's about what I did. I honestly did not know what I was going to do when I was a senior. I kind of was thinking, all right, now it's time to get into the real world and what's that going to look like. My mom
Mhm.
suggested looking at SDSU, so went on a tour, and I really love the campus there. It's a small town feel, but Brookings is not that small. We went on one tour, loved it, so I went on another one and was like, yep, this is where I'm gonna go. I didn't look at any other colleges. I had another one in mind, but that was it. I
Yeah.
decided to major in agriculture leadership, and I didn't really know my freshman year what that was going to look like. But once I got up there, I actually had enough credits from high school to transfer over, and I graduated in 3.5 years. And I also added on two minors, agribusiness marketing and digital social media. Um, just something with the world that's changing, two good things to have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Um, so talk about like agriculture and how that's been a part of your life and kind of how that led you into a career today.
Yeah, so my whole life, my dad worked on a dairy farm, and I give him credit for my love and passion for the agriculture industry. It's just
Mhm.
something that I've always had an interest in. But not only that, my senior year in high school, my FFA advisor, which was Danielle James, she pushed me a little bit out of my comfort zone and made me do some contests and stuff because she saw my interest and my passion for the industry.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and then so that's led you into a career today. So you're involved in agriculture today and kind of living the dream then, right?
Yep, yep.
Yep, you bet. That's great. So could you talk to us a little bit about what careers are out there in agriculture? So if we have students that are thinking about going on beyond high school and they're thinking about going into something in the agricultural fields, like what's out there for them and what's something that they could pursue?
Yeah, the agriculture industry is massive and it's changing every single day. Some that I wrote down, education, communication, precision ag, horticulture. If you're interested in about anything, there's probably a job for it.
Mhm.
And specifically for what I went to school for, jobs after you get your degree would be 4-H extension work, policies, legislative, any kind of nonprofit or like a commodity breed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, and students, if they're thinking something in the agriculture field, they don't have to grow up on a farm, right? Or have that like in their blood, basically. I mean, it's something if they take some classes and they enjoy it, or it's something that is something they're interested in pursuing, they can still pursue something in ag, right? There's something out there for them, right?
Absolutely. I actually didn't grow up on a farm. I just had the passion for it. And as long as
Hmm.
you're willing to learn and get yourself into it, dive in deeper, it's easy to catch on and it's a great learning experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That sounds great. And then So moving on also with agriculture, like what skills might be needed in today's ag world?
I would say communication is a big one, and that's probably something you've always had to have. It's not always who you know, or not what you know, it's who you know, along those lines. So don't be afraid to like talk to people. That is a
Hmm.
major thing. And I know like with technology, it's pretty easy to, communicate like we are right now.
Hmm. Yeah. And then a couple more questions, Kirsten. So tell us about your job and tell us about what you do, um, in up in Minnesota there, right across the border, because you're in Worthington, right? Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about what you do in your job.
So yeah, I actually am 50 between two counties, so Worthington and Slayton, Murray and Nobles County. So looking at what I do day to day, programming, working with volunteers, because volunteers are a huge part of what we do every day. They make the programs work. Helping with 4-H related items, such as helping with anything they need for meetings, policies that they're following, rules, anything like that. We're kind of the backside and we help them out along the way. Um, every day is different, and I love that. This week is a little crazy. My one of my coworkers is out sick, and she said, "Hey, can you jump in and do this?" And I absolutely would love to. So
Mhm.
it's a
Yep.
little bit of everything, a lot of emails, a lot of communications. Um,
Yep.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And you're heavily involved in 4-H then too, right?
Yes, and I was involved in 4-H for 9 years back in Iowa. So yeah, can just
Mhm.
continued on.
That's great. So last question here for you, Kirsten. So what would you recommend, as far as if students are thinking something in the agricultural fields for a career, what advice would you give them?
I think the first thing, if you're interested and like a specific area you want to work with, maybe while you're in high school, reach out to somebody in the area to get into like a little bit of an intern or, workforce experience to see if that's really what you would want to do and pursue a degree in that. Um, be open to changes and just be excited to learn.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So, yeah, fantastic. So, thanks for your time today, Kirsten. We really appreciate it. So, again, for Bulldogs in the Workforce this week, we had Kirsten Thoms, 2019 graduate of Lamar's Community High School, talking to us about her career in agriculture and also what's out there. We're very fortunate at Lamar's. We have some outstanding classes in the ag field. We have a great FFA program. We have two teachers here at the high school that are very dedicated and passionate about agriculture and FFA. So that sets you up very well if that's what you want to do someday. And we're excited. We're actually offering more ag classes next year. So we have a few new ones next year that haven't been offered before. So we're very excited about that. So um, yeah, always great opportunities in the ag field, especially coming out of Lamar's. So, all right. Well, Kirsten Thoms, thanks again for your time today. We really appreciate it on Bulldogs in the Workforce. Always trying to improve our college and career readiness.
Thank you.
Okay, so we